I was in Albania speaking at the Global Women's Summit, and I got a chance to speak with Marie Diamond from The Secret. She and I sat together for about 45 minutes, and I started to share with her some of my inner knowings and inner fears around women being in their power around money specifically. And she went into sharing her story with me, which she has shared publicly, about when she started to come into her power with money and was in possession of money, and also speaking truth to power around the Roman Catholic Church. And this was decades ago, and how much the FBI came after her, how she was forced to no longer do business in her name in Germany, and more. Just a lot. She went into some detail about that. And then she also spoke to this knowing that I have without doing research. I've never read about this or heard about it, but I've come so intimately into my own power and connection with the ultimate source, which is what I want for all women, that when you get in connection with that source, you know things, you get access to things that are really, really, really old, because as part of our work here is to right wrongs, to align what is out of alignment. And I have known that women are to be in power with money. I've known this, just a knowing. And so when I shared this with her, she started to tell me how in the 13th century is when everything shifted with money. That up to the 13th century, women were the ones in possession of wealth, money, power, and were the ones to go to make things happen. Were the ones who were making things happen. And men went to them and formed alliances with them to make things happen. And it wasn't until men decided that they wanted to have wars and to do other things that they decided to institute what we now call the patriarchy. And so in Albania, having this conversation with this woman that spoke to a knowing that I have, and being on stage and having one-off conversations or one-on-one private conversations with the women of Albania, where they were under a communist regime until 1991, and suppression was real. And to hear these women still, even though communism ended for them over 20 years ago, for them to still feel suppression, where there's no actual suppression, but they feel it. And to hear them speak and to know that this is the reality for so many women everywhere was even further confirmation for me of how significant it is, this work that I'm doing in the world, and that even many of you are doing in the world, in your own way, restoring womanhood. That's what I call it. Perhaps you call it empowerment or sexual liberation or financial freedom. What I know, being on this planet for 38 years, having lived through sexual abuse as a girl, having really come to know that I was even plagued by trauma as a teenage girl, coming into that awareness. Then going on my own journey of discovering who I am and what am I doing, and right? This journey that I think all women at some point, these questions we start to ask ourselves at some point. And to have my own complex relationship with money, having learned from my mother, unbeknownst to her, I like to be clear about that other people can have what they want and I can't have what I want, and to have to transform that relationship with money and come into my power with money and sex. And like, those are the words, but really what that is, when you come into power with money and sex, you're coming into your power as a woman, as a human being. And how much of us have been stripped of that? How many of us have been stripped of that? And I see it everywhere. And I was able to see it in such a large scope, being around all of these women in this country that just 26 years ago was under a communist regime. That's not long ago. I mean, my sister was alive when that was going, I'm not alive, but that wasn't that long ago, And so my purpose on this planet is to restore womanhood. And my desire is to have 3 women come here to live with me in Paris for 6 years as a part of this restoration. And the way this is going to work is you and I, this is assuming you're one of the women who come here as a protege, me and you and the other 2 women are going to engage in the growing up together in the house that's required for a woman to step into her power around sex and money. So by the end of the 6 weeks, you're going to be way ahead of the average woman currently walking planet Earth. And what I will want from you is at the end of this 6 weeks, if you have come to know yourself like never before, if you are powerful like never before, self-aware, willing, alive, and you're just in that place where you just, right? Then I will want you to stay and commit to a year and really helping me get serious about this and bringing the Chateau to life. The Chateau in France will be the world premiere, not world premiere, but the world-class destination for women to learn, to come from all over the world to learn how to be women. And I want leaders, you will be a leader. If after the 6 weeks you decide that you want to really take this on seriously, meaning you want to be the face of womanhood, you want to be the face of women in power, and you want to lead that, that's what you will be committing to if after the 6 weeks living here in Paris with me and the other 2 women as a protege, that's what it will look like. And so the first 6 weeks is really an opportunity for you to get to know yourself like never before. And to see what this looks like, to see other women coming into their power, to see other women having their own emotional experiences, to see yourself and other women confront parts of yourself that you were never able to access before, or that you were terrified to speak to before because perhaps there was nobody around you that could hold you in that space. And so the 20 plus years that I've been on this journey of healing sexual trauma, stepping into my power around money, and now being able to command the way I'm able to. Not forcing, not, there's none of this, excessive masculine going on. I'm able to create whatever it is that I want. And you will learn how to do the exact same thing. And so in this 6 weeks, you're going to have an experience like most women will never have in their lives. I'm going to be taking everything that I've come to learn up till now, this stepping into power around money, creating large amounts of money, navigating all the layers from where you are, even where I was 4 years ago. And I'm saying 4 years ago, but it's been forever, right? But I'm saying really stepping into this and what it looks like, and you going from wherever you are up to the next level, the next level, the next level. And so I was on the phone with my sister this morning, and she was saying, it's time for me to level up in a big way. And what's interesting about this is she has been leveling up, but it's been in these almost imperceptible sort of light kind of feel-good kind of ways that don't have any real long-term impact, that aren't transforming her life in a really big way. So when she said to me, it's time for me to level up in a big way, my insides just screamed, because I know that it's not the little things. I know people talk about baby steps and, and there is a place for baby steps for sure. However, when you want radical transformation, when you are looking to shift the thinking of human beings, when you are looking at creating entirely new systems, because I'm not going to fight anybody's system, I'm going to create my own. And if you are going to create massive change on planet Earth before you leave, it's not going to happen in baby steps. It's going to happen with you making big decisions, taking radical action. And so I'm inviting you to take radical action if this speaks to you. If this experience of coming to learn about yourself like never before, here in Paris with me, living in a beautiful and big house, okay? So just know that, like that's a given, right? A queen's environment is critical. So if this speaks to you, and it's been speaking to you, and for whatever small reason, meaning it's something that can easily be dealt with. You're like, if money has been an issue, if, fear, boring fear, or some other whatever thing that can be dealt with has been the reason why, I invite you now to step into radical decision making and make a serious yes or a serious no. And so this is what I'm doing for this week only. I'm doing this, okay? Call me. It's a Google Voice number, okay? And so today is Saturday, June 10th, I think. Yeah, Saturday, June 10th. So today and tomorrow, June 10th and June 11th, I want you to call and leave a message in my Google Voice. I will be checking it throughout the day. And tell me that you know Protege in Paris is for you. And whatever questions you have, etc., I can answer them. We're going to answer them this weekend. Like you and I are going to get on the phone this weekend and address whatever it is that needs to be addressed for you to be a part of the Protege in Paris experience. And so I want to repeat, in case there's any unclearness, is that this Protege in Paris experience starts with 6 weeks. And it's really both an opportunity for you to have an experience and to you to be filtered. Because I know that a lot of women think they want to be in power, but a lot of women don't really want to be in power. And so I want you to have an experience to taste power, to feel it, to live in it, not just visit at some weekend workshop or some coaching call. I want you to live in it. I want you to immerse yourself in it so you can get a really good taste of power. Your personal power, what it looks like to feel like, to be in relationship with power, to access your power through sex and money. And if after 6 weeks you realize that it's just too much, you don't want the responsibility, you don't want the commitment, the dedication, the lifestyle, then you will leave. And you will have had this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, this beautiful, rich, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity in Paris. And that will be cool, right? However, if after the 6 weeks, you're like, this is my life. I'm dedicating my life to womanhood, to me being in my power and helping other women return to their power, then I will ask you to stay for a year. And actually, I won't have to ask because you'll know that that's what's coming. So, the Protege in Paris opportunity for the 6 weeks is $10,000, by the way. It's $10,000. We can work out the payments. We can split that up however we need to. And any support that you need with business development, I got you on that. This whole stepping into power with money is my genius. So happy to support you with that. So don't even worry about how you're going to do it and all that. What's most important is that you decide yes or no if this is for you, particularly if this has been speaking to you. You've seen me talking about the Life in Paris experience, which is another experience for other women who will not be living in the house with me, because the Protege is specifically living with me. And so that's what I got right now. So the number to call, by the way, that would be important, right? And let me make sure. It's 415. Yeah, it's 415-890-6914. Again, that's 415-890-6914. And for whatever reason, if you can't get through, or perhaps you're outside of the United States and for whatever reason you can't dial those digits, you can inbox me on Facebook. Remember, this is for this weekend only that I'm opening up the phone line, doing it this way. So if you see this message after the weekend, send an email to questions@theopulentlife.com. Okay? Again, questions@theopulentlife.com. And my client care manager will take care of you. You can say, I saw this video, I'm past the deadline, I would like to have questions about this experience, etc., etc. And if she can answer them, she will. If it requires you and I getting on the phone, then Verice will make that happen. Okay? Verice is my client care manager. So that's it for now. It's a glorious Saturday afternoon here in Paris. It is glorious. And so I am going to go out and see. Lots of love. I look forward to who I will be connecting with this weekend regarding coming here for the Protege in Paris experience, which, by the way, begins August 8th. You'll be coming to London for my More Than Enough Money event, August 8th, and then we'll be coming down here to Paris, where we officially move into the house August 10th. Okay? So there's lots more details that I will share specifically with the women who this is for. I look forward to your call or your inbox on Facebook if this speaks to you. Lots of love.